And definitely all of our discussion here will be featured in AWANI.com across all social media platforms. All right, next we'll be focusing on the aged care and senior living sector in Malaysia is rapidly evolving due to the country's aging population and increasing demand for specialized care. The percentage of Malaysians aged 65 and above is projected to rise from 8.1% in 2024 to 14.5% by 2040, with over 23% of the population expected to be aged 60 and above by 2050. Integrated retirement villages are becoming popular, offering a community-oriented lifestyle with elderly-friendly designs, meal planning, housekeeping, medical checkups, therapy and social activities. And to help us understand the key trends in aged care and senior living in Malaysia, I welcome you, our guest, Sulaiman Saheh, Director Research of Rahim & Co. International. I would say thank you very much, Rahim, for joining me. Firstly, definitely it's important to talk about aged care and senior living as Malaysia, a few years, will be becoming an aged nation. Firstly, how has the demand for aged care and senior living facilities evolved in Malaysia? And is the real estate sector adapting fast enough to meet this need?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me again. The aged care sector in Malaysia has gradually and steadily growing over the past few years. And as you have actually highlighted, the percentage share of aged population defined as above 65 years and above, Malaysia was actually defined as an aging society back in 2020, where 7% of the population is already aged 65 years and above. And that percentage is projected to reach above 14% by 2040, whereby by then we would be classified as under WHO, as an aged society, no longer an aging society. And even if you were to go even further, super aged society is defined as above 20% of the total population is defined as with an age of over 65. So the growing number of aged society in the country is due to the medical advancement and the healthcare advancement, as well as which leads towards a longer life expectancy, while the birth rate for the country is actually slower, which makes it total net percentage of higher age population. So the growth here, we see that there's a lot of market growth in terms of potential numbers, and this is actually now taken up and slowly being looked at a lot by urban population, especially because the demand for such facilities has actually been promulgated, or basically highlighted by the modern family institution behavior, whereby the children of the elderly societies, of the parents and whatnot, can't really give full-time care because they're also working, or they're actually at school for the young adults. So they actually want to actually put their elderly parents in a proper aged care facility. But looking at that, even there's different ranges. There are different range of aged care facilities, from independent living to assisted living to actually a high care living, a specialized medical facility. And we see the growth of these in the market right now. Like Sunway Sanctuary have actually come up with their aged care facility. We also see in Ipoh there's Green Acres. There were developments in Johor, even in Selangor, and several other states as well. And these are now slowly picked up and being used and being actually accepted by the society. But I have to actually say the structure right now, because of the society, Malaysian society or even Asian society, there's a bit of a stigma, if you like, when people talk about sending their parents to a aged care facility or retirement home. But this is actually different, because that's senior living versus retirement living. It ranges for a wide range of spectrum.
All right, as you mentioned, mostly in the demand of the market for this such facility is probably from the background or demand from the modern family behavior, and there's a few range of this facility or the services. And as you mentioned also, there's a perception that aged care residents in Malaysia cater more to high-income groups. Moving forward, how can we ensure more affordable options without compromising quality care and wellness services?
The provision of aged care support, aged care facility that is very supportive to all aspects of all strata of societies would depend on one, I guess, in terms of the business model, and in the implementation of it to make it more efficient, as well as one of the key factors here is the setup cost. So government incentives and government tax incentives, grants, and support is actually needed. And in terms of the facilities that are provided within those facilities, it is going to be equipped with medical link, telelink services to actually help support the occupants, the elderly occupants or the aged society occupants over there. But on top of that, the supply of skilled workers for aged care is also a concern. Because right now, the number is actually, there are a lot of all these skilled workers, but they're not really fully utilized right now. They're still stuck or basically attached to a proper hospital or medical facility, but the kind of daycare facility, or basically, because it ranges from a registered nurse or a doctor down to just a caretaker. So those kind of mindset and also the wage involved for those kind of manpower would actually contribute towards the total cost of running a facility. Because right now, typically, the range for an aged care facility in Klang Valley, at least, it starts from around 5,000 ringgit per month. Typically about 6,000 to 8,000 ringgit a month, and that's quite hefty. That is quite hefty for just a person to actually be placed over there, and hence that's why it's inclined towards the higher income group who can actually afford to actually go into those facilities. But this is where the community-based aged care framework, which is also designed to be to allow the aged society to age in place, which is basically for them to grow older or age within their own premises, with the support of daycare facilities or pay-as-you-use facilities or pay-as-you-use services when you actually order.
As you mentioned that for every community we need to have at least a community-based framework, as this is also one of the most critical design elements that future aged care and senior living residents must incorporate to ensure long-term sustainability and functionality. As we compare right now, for maybe when we're young, we need a bit more of the look and design and feel a bit more aesthetic, but when we're a bit older, probably we are more prominent towards comfortability. And as you mentioned that to set up, of course, a facility must be efficient, and it's very important that we have the government fund initiative, grant and support. And from also the government side, we want to take a look at what some of very important policies or incentives should the government introduce to encourage more integrated residential project with aged care and wellness components, like you also just share right now, the community-based framework. What else can we take a look at?
One good thing that the government has started the Act of the Private Aged Care Healthcare Facilities Act have laid down the platform or the framework in terms of the regulation of such facilities or not. Because before this, we do not have that. And that was actually passed in short in 2018. That actually have created a regulatory framework in terms of providing the services. On top of that, in terms of getting funding in or even linkages with the insurance companies or even the bantuan rakyat. There was actually some schemes by the government to actually give grants to the retirees. These are the facilities that can actually support the affordability side of things. But in doing that, even the design for private aged care facilities has to comply with a lot of things. The universal design, as actually highlighted also, the things that you put priorities when you are more youthful and more independent and agile in your mobility is different to those within this society, within this age group. Because safety and security is going to be very important, because they are no longer as responsive in terms of if an emergency actually happened. But on top of that, the quality of living whereby mental health within the age society has to be given a lot of emphasis, because this is where the community support is very important, not just from the family, from the surrounding, and the community that it actually engage within. These kind of support in terms of activities, in terms of facilities for them to actually enjoy. Because right now, even today, when we talk about, in the past we talked about life begins at 40, if somebody would actually refer to that. Some actually argue today's 40 is already at the age of 60. 60 is the new 40 to some extent, because a lot of people are still, we have actually aged. There's a lot more people within the age group, retirees group, who are still very active, and they are still contributing to the economy as well. You can see them playing in a SME role or small business role, or even some consulting work after retirement. So this is where that whole aged care should be designed as a community base, and it's supported by not just the government, but also from the family members, obviously, but the whole community and the healthcare support that's actually needed to actually move forward. And hence, this is also going to actually help making Malaysia a desired destination to retire in, coupling with our medical tourism angle as well as our MM2H.
All right, as you mentioned, and we are at the end of our segment. Again, I would say thank you very much, Sulaiman Saheh, Director Research of Rahim & Co. International Sedang Berhad. As we reaching or heading to aging nation, it's important to look at all of the aspects that you have just shared, that even though we have a very good policy to ensure a very well-managed ecosystem for all the community, especially the senior citizen, but we need all the supports from everyone across a sector, agency and the government to help boost this residential area, where the place where we reside at the end. Again, I say thank you very much, and definitely all of our discussion here will be featured in AstroAwani.com across all social media platforms.